Okay, and right back in with day 3. Um, so, looking over this, got a viable defensive position on the right. The remnants of the forces that used to be down here are, I think, managing to successfully retreat in the night. We are holding here on the left, really my right. They are breaking through, or they have broken through in the center, and now our forces are racing back to see who can form a position maybe back here first. So, in the larger strategic context, I think, or larger, higher up operational context, I think the main thing is I want to keep them from being able to race down along this road and keep them from being able to race down along this road. Which means I probably, if I can't defend this road along here, I need to fall back from this position and occupy this position back here instead. Is there anything I can do to prevent them from taking that small dirt path there? I may want to fall, except if I fall back here, there's nothing stopping them from taking this road to push deeper into Poland. I think I really want these forces to successfully get back here and form something of a defense there. Failing that, if I can pull these forces back here, the enemy's options will at least be more limited. Oh, but it's as always, you never want to abandon a position that you've been holding successfully and that you know you can continue holding successfully for a little while. Like, I know I can hold this position, but there's no point in holding this position if the enemy races through and captures this crossroads back here and continues to push back deeper into Poland that way. So yeah, I think I need to abandon this position here. At least do a phased withdrawal. There, so call it a defend order. The AI is smart enough here; they should know to take that road there. And we want the movement to be done in the night. Be done as quickly as possible. And these other units. That battalion I think I'll reattach there. Get everyone that is currently here. Oh, yeah, you reattach and follow the orders of your parent battalion. Reattach. There we go. They're gonna follow the orders. Don't waste time resting. I want to ensure the movement is conducted during the night. Oh, I apparently haven't given you any such withdraw order. Alright, anyone else that I've neglected to give orders to? No, okay. Okay, these guys are continuing to successfully pull back. The engineers have pulled back to the new position by now. That's good. They have hundreds of rifles, so they are of some value as infantry, even though they probably shouldn't be used as infantry. Okay, actually, this ain't going too bad here. We have actually managed to successfully form a new position here. Maybe I didn't need to pull back over here. Oh, why aren't you moving? Don't want you just sitting by yourself there. Join everyone else. Maybe I'll have them push forward again. We'll keep them back here. If nothing else, they're forming a reserve. Can we actually finish off those tanks? We'll try to put some arty down on those tanks. Evidently did not work. Okay, we successfully managed to pull back here. I'm kind of wishing that I hadn't abandoned this position now. But, I mean, it would have been worse if I decided to hang on to this position and the Germans got here first. So, on the whole, probably not a bad call to pull back. Oh yeah, and it looks like, yeah, most of my forces here are managing to successfully get away. Are you... You need to move. Move while it's still dark. Oh, they only have one tank left. We've destroyed more of the enemy. This is beginning to look like I am going to lose, probably, by the score. But if I manage to prevent the enemy from reaching either of these two areas here, these road exits here, which I don't think you can actually exit these maps, but if I can manage to prevent the Germans from reaching the ends of any of these roads here, I will count it as a win. Even if the game score doesn't technically consider it a win. Probably speed time up a little bit. Okay, Need to move quickly before daybreak. Okay, we're getting some daybreak there. So all the units that have been destroyed, all these yellow crosses here, represents one of my formations, one of my companies that has been overrun or disbanded or otherwise destroyed. Did manage to destroy one German unit there. It's a regimental HQ there, I think. Ooh, not good with Roman numerals. That would be 19th Army Corps. Company. Oh, are you not? Come on. Hurry up, fall back. You're gonna be able to make it back? Need to expand the frontage. Back out. Single line formation. Don't want them slipping around our flanks. Any anti-tank units? Okay, my artillery support cannot reach over here. But they have been mostly resupplied on ammo. Spotted a problem. If I pile my defenses in here, they could swing around these roads here. Okay, so we're gonna pull back just a little ways. So, biggest frontage we can get there. A little bit more south facing. This battalion going to defend kind of alongside. Okay, that's not having much luck moving that. That should provide adequate defense for this junction in the road network here. But they are finally now following the earlier orders I've given them. Take a minute to receive the new ones. This game does do a pretty good job of modeling orders delay. You know, orders are passed down the chain of command. Takes some time to once you receive the orders, then to react and organize a response to them. Definitely a bit of a lull in the fighting at the moment. Things will probably pick up by noon. It's only almost 9 in the morning. That have kind of pulled everyone back has probably helped to slow down the fighting a little bit. So the Germans will need to kind of reorganize and make new attack plans. Looks like motorized forces can move about 4 times faster along roads than cross country. Yeah, about 4 times faster. Foot about twice as fast. Lightly wooded areas slows infantry down a little bit, and motorized forces down by about 40%. Heavily wooded areas, motorized forces can barely move at all, and foot infantry are slowed down by about 40% from how fast they move on open ground. I guess now's a good time to get a snack. Sure, sure the fighting will pick up eventually here in a little bit. The German forces are far from beaten. The longer it takes for them to get moving, the more time I have to set up a viable defense of my own. See, they are starting to move in here in the center. It won't be long before the action starts picking up again. Alright, that should be a good spot for the AT guns. Got a little bit of cover inside the village. And got good fields of fire there as well. Yeah, about a third is likely to be hit by direct fire from inside the village. Do I have these guys far enough to the east to prevent them from using this road? I think. Good. Move that defend objective just a little bit to the right there. I want to prevent them from just charging down that road like that guy's doing, that company's doing. That's not a guy, that's a whole company of guys. That is 130 guys there. Just going right by my defenses there. And hopefully get them bogged down a little bit. 174 guys in that company, 140 in there, 159 there. Battalion 497 men strong. Alright, and we have forced them to withdraw a little ways. Hopefully this river is not easily fordable. There's always ways around these positions. You can always like ford across these rivers, or there's always options. Just hopefully they're difficult enough and logistically impractical enough that they're forced to go through the areas that I've set up as defensive positions. Okay, so I had a slight skirmish here. Exchanged some rounds here. But mostly we're still in that lull. I think if we can make it to 2000 on day 3 without the enemy breaking through anywhere, I'll count this as a win. Managed to hold them on this map for 3 days. Which, given the lightning pace of the invasion of Poland, is not bad. And it's not an atypical pace for operations in general. Each of these squares represents about 1 kilometer or so. And well, maybe 10 kilometers a day might not be uncommon for some operations. Okay. I'm not delaying them for an abnormally long period of time. Pretty sure each of these boxes here represents 1 square kilometer. So getting diagonal distances along a square grid is not easy. Yeah, forgetting... Is there a distance tool? There's so many tools in this game that I haven't even figured out that there probably is a distance tool somewhere. Yeah. We draw a path here. Oh, I can. Okay, so Footage of where we're at right now. That is... Do we actually get how long that distance is? How far have they pushed me back? We don't seem to actually get how long that distance is. Okay. Wait, hang on, that was... Oh, they gave me a time, how long it would take to travel that path. And I think my forward position's there to there. And that's my order of battle. It's giving all the orders, I think. Oh. There you go. Fire support dialogue. Briefings. Ah, okay. That's the scenario briefing there. The top bit, I believe, is in Polish. Ah, but they do give English translations here. Okay. Ah, they are consolidating. I think we've mostly been able to restock on ammo for the arty. 128 high explosive shells for the 75mm guns. 84 for the 105mm guns. And what I want to do is wait for the enemy to... I don't want to just, you know, spend arty rounds just willy-nilly. I want to wait for the enemy to actually commit to an attack, and then blast the crap out of them. And spend all my artillery rounds when it'll be most useful. As if they're attacking us, we can... And then we bombard them, we can break up the attack a little bit, make it less effective. And actually, instead of just harassing them, actually reduce the effectiveness of their attack. There's something going on somewhere. Oh, okay, that company slipped behind me. Yeah, they crossed over the river. Okay, one company isn't too much to worry about. They are redeploying according to the orders I gave them earlier. Each of these battalion-sized actions here and there is a fairly large combat mission scenario, which was kind of the light skirmishing we've done with that company probably isn't enough action to make a combat mission or theater of war scenario. And for the last few hours, all we've done is exchange some harassing fire. Hey, they're the attackers. If they want to sit back and whittle their time away on a little bit of harassing action, I am fine with that. Because whether or not I'm beating back any attacks or just intimidating them from attacking them, either way, I am holding them and keeping them from pushing deeper into Poland. And that counts as a win as far as I'm concerned. Wouldn't mind a little bit of heavy fighting, because this is a game after all, and I want to have a bit of fun, and also attrit their forces a little bit. But the main thing is just try to hold them as long as possible. They're going to break through, they're going to have to break through somewhere else. They're not breaking through my defenses, dagnabbit, if I can help it. I am seeing movement over here. They may be concentrating and getting ready to actually commit to an attack. But they only have 5 hours left, 4.5 hours before the scenario comes to an end. So if they're going to attack, they better get to it, because they're running out of time. So yeah, the heaviest, most interesting fighting, unless they get an attack moving soon, will have been on day 1. So that'll be part 1 will have been the most interesting video to watch. But the end of this one will give the actual the final battle results, the casualties, the losses on both ends, on both sides. But I haven't seen yet. Theoretically, I could have, say, maybe surrendered after each of my save games, just to peek at the losses so far, but I have not done that. I have remained disciplined about not peeking at the battle results early on. Got 14.1 points out of 33.3 for casualties inflicted on the enemy. That's the maximum points I can... 33.3 is the maximum points I could receive if I manage to inflict 19% casualties on the enemy. So I have inflicted 8% casualties on the enemy, which, you know, that's nothing to write home about, but that's not a terribly below average casualty rate. I think about 10% casualties, that's heavy casualties. 8%, yeah, it's not atypical. That's enough that we are acquitting ourselves. They have not managed to just totally curb stomp us without loss, is about what that casualty rate means. Oh, we got air forces coming in. Oh, they have to be caught where they bombed. I didn't see how many men that, how many personnel this company had before the airstrike came in. We can see they're a little bit suppressed there with the yellow there. They should recover from that soon enough. So yeah, using airstrikes kind of just in isolation like that isn't terribly effective. Uh, for sure in real life, and I think that's reflected in game. You'll only inflict a few casualties, but you will, sort of suppress and disorganize the enemy a little bit with airstrikes. So they will be most valuable when there is a ground attack. Also, like ground forces are also either attacking or defending, and that can then exploit that little bit of suppression and disorganization that is caused by the airstrike. So air attacks won't inflict a whole lot of damage on their own, but they can really augment the effectiveness of ground forces that are also conducting their own attacks or defenses. Okay, I'm starting to think the enemy is not actually going to commit to an attack before the timer runs out. There was a day 4, maybe they'd commit to an attack then. There are still objectives for them to take. Are they content with their forwardmost objectives? Are they going to actually push into my rear and try to finish the job? Well, it's good that my troops are getting a little bit of rest. But I guess if there isn't any interesting action going on at the moment, I've actually got a couple of books in my collection that, if you're interested in learning a bit about the first major operation of World War II, German invasion of Poland in September 1939. Oh, we've got a little bit of action going on down here. This company, I guess they're trying to rejoin with their main forces here. Yeah, they've managed to get behind my lines, but that does mean they are kind of cut off from their own resupply. They can't just, stay there and rampage in my rear without the rest of their forces breaking through. Anyway, I guess that little bit of action has died down. Okay, brief flare-up of interesting events. But in any case, if you're interested in learning more about this sort of thing here, this particular operation, I got 2 books. Case White, the German Army in the Polish Campaign, September 1939. It's kind of the Wehrmacht, the German perspective there. I got that from the Naftzeiger collection, which is excellent collection of books and manuals for, well, all sorts of periods of warfare. I mainly go there for period tactical manuals. I'm very much interested in the tactics of various armies in various time periods. And then another book from the Polish perspective, the Polish Campaign, 1939. Oh, it's a Case White, German Army in the Polish Campaign, September 1939. That is by William Russ. Find that in the Naftzeiger collection. Just Google Naftzeiger collection, and that should come up. Polish Campaign 1939. The from the Polish Army's perspective by Steven Zaloga and Victor Madej. Um, I think I got this one off Amazon. Um, but yeah, between the two of them, you get the same operation, but one from the Polish perspective, one from the German perspective. They both, I think, give some orders of battle, and then kind of day by day descriptions of each of the major events, each of the major actions that day from the perspective of the respective armies. And they both have some good maps, and descriptions of the equipment and training and mobilizations of each side, um, prior to the breakout of hostilities, prior to the German invasion. One thing I do not have a book on is anything on what the Soviet forces were doing, because the Soviets joined in on invading Poland from the 17th of September onwards, and neither of these books cover anything about what the Soviet divisions were up to from 17th of September onwards. So I got nothing telling me anything about the Soviet perspective and what the Soviet units were doing. So if anyone knows where I can find a good source about what the Soviet army was doing, where each of their units were positioned, and what their major actions were throughout the latter half of the campaign, that would be nice, because both of these books bring no mention of the Soviets. But I know from 17 September onward, 1939, they were pouring into the eastern half of Poland. I don't know if I can think of anything else to fill up these last few minutes while the battle time's out. As soon as this counter hits 2000, that's 8 p.m. Normal 12-hour clock time. Then I think the battle should. Yeah, it was from day 3 at 2000 there, when the battle will auto end. It doesn't look like the Germans are interested. Okay, we still have this minor action going on here, and we've inflicted some casualties on them. You see their personnel count has even dropped a little bit there. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're actually interested in conducting a major attack anytime soon.
Got some wings.
Oh, thank you. I was just being informed that there are wings available to be eaten once I'm done fighting this battle. I think, okay, if they're not going to attack me, I'm at least going to harass them a little bit with my artillery. Ooh. Yeah, let's bombard 2nd Panzer HQ. Yeah, so we're gonna expend all of my artillery ammunition, hopefully, before the battle ends. Kinda hope that all of these sightings here, their formations, are accurate. And then, once the battle time's out, we'll get the results screen, see how many casualties I inflicted on them, how many casualties they inflicted on me. Okay. And continue bombarding various targets to maximize the chances that one of those targets is still in their last sighted positions. Alright, these two units have recent sightings. Oh. Good. Ooh. It has 210 personnel. So that's a juicy target. Okay. Alright, that'll probably be the last bombardment mission there. Hopefully we managed to do a little bit more damage there. Yeah, we did a little bit of damage. Alright. It says I was marginally defeated. Some enemy troops did manage to get into my rear. Oh, can't actually. Yeah, actually, only 2 companies managed to get behind my forces. A company here and a company there breaking through into my rear is not a huge concern. For some reason, they never decided to commit to a major attack to finish me off. But overall losses, I took about twice as many not quite as twice as many casualties as they did. They took 1,404 casualties overall. 905 of them to my anti-personnel weaponry, 74 to bombardment, so not heavy casualties to my artillery. 129 to anti-armor. They lost 98 armored fighting vehicles, so that's pretty heavy armored losses. Not all of those will be tanks, though. Some of them will have been armored cars. 70 of the enemy casualties are prisoners. Okay, that's 1 unit disbanded. I took 2,344 casualties. I lost 21 AFVs, 42 guns. Okay, yeah. That airstrike, or the airstrikes, I think there were a couple of them in total, caused 8 casualties. So, yeah, like I said, airstrikes tend not to cause a whole lot of casualties by themselves. But, they can be very useful if used in conjunction with other arms. 197 of my men surrendered. Who could blame them? They were in pretty tough situations. 9 of my units disbanded. Okay. Yeah. Can't quite read that, but if anyone knows Polish, Any Polish viewers that stumble on this video want to translate what that says, probably scolding me for uh not defending Poland well enough, because I have scored a marginal defeat here. But we prevented them from breaking through en masse through to these roads here. Why did they stop here? Huh, it's interesting. They didn't push forward anywhere. They were kind of more or less content to consolidate. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, that's that. There'll be more of this to come. I got another Command Ops mission in Poland to play. A couple more theater war missions in Poland to play, and then there'll be a fair number, say another dozen or so, missions in theater war in France 1940 that I'll be playing, and one Command Ops France 1940 battle that I'll be playing, and a whole bunch of France 1940 scenarios in Combat Mission Africa Corps, and then just a whole bunch more World War II content to come. So, yeah. Bye.